Corporate America needs our audience because you're loyal. Do you know how many sponsors have emailed me and been like, my gosh, your listeners are like the best ever? They are. I get people email me about companies that don't have a specific URL who sponsor with us. Mm-hmm. You know, like FilterBuy is one of them. They don't have a specific URL, but they know it's coming from us. Believe me. And I got the greatest listeners ever. They're like, how do we let FilterBuy know we're buying because of you? I appreciate that, but they know. Trust me, they know. But these companies don't, they don't endorse the political views on this show. These are just companies looking to sell products to you, a listener base. I can't be clearer on that. These companies have their own ideological views. They are looking to get out there and sell products in a free country. Leave them the hell alone. Or we're going to fight back. My gosh. All right, I got more on this. Hey, before we get to that, today's show brought to you by our buddies at Brickhouse Nutrition. I want to thank Miles. He owns Brickhouse. He sent me a brand new supply of Field of Greens, which I have been, he sent me 3 bottles of it, and one of them is almost done because everybody in my family now wolfs it down. Now, what is Field of Greens? Think of it as fruit and vegetable insurance, folks. We know we're supposed to eat fruits and vegetables. We know it. Everybody tells us. Yeah. Brain health, body health, immune health. Sometimes I look young. Although a guy the other day asked me if I had grandkids in my kids' school. I'm like, no, they're my kids. I was like weirded out for the first time. But most of the time people say, wow, you look pretty young for 43. I'm telling you, I attribute it to just a lifetime of, it's Joe's laugh. It's true. It really happened. I think it's because he saw the grays on the right side of my head. I should have turned the other way. But I swear it's due to just voluminous consumption of fruits and vegetables. I eat dried blueberries, dried cranberries, mixed berries. My wife puts together a huge salad at night. But also, I supplement it with Field of Greens, which is food. It's ground up fruits and vegetables of the highest quality. Unbelievable macronutrients, micronutrients. You got cherries in there. You got blueberries. You got exotic vegetables you'd never be able to get anywhere else. It's a simple process. You just get the water out of it. Water takes up about 90% of the space in a lot of these fruits and vegetables. This is ground up food. It's the equivalent of eating multiple servings of fruits and vegetables in one scoop. I think it tastes great. I wouldn't steer you wrong. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it. I think there's a hint of cherry, a little bit of licorice in there. I throw it in green tea. Sometimes I put it in V8. Yesterday, I was just putting it in water because I like the taste. Folks, you need your fruits and vegetables. Go give it a shot. I highly recommend the product. I worked with them in pushing it out there because I wanted it. There was another company I was using, and I think this product is just far better. Get your fruit and vegetable insurance. Take it and eat your fruits and vegetables too. But if you can't eat your fruits and vegetables, it's even more important that you try this stuff. Here's where it's available. BrickhouseNutrition.com/Dan. That's BrickhouseNutrition.com/Dan. Check out Field of Greens today. Okay, getting back to this Beinart piece here, because this thing is just a doozy, and I mean that in the most non-qualitatively good way possible. Okay, here he goes on. He says, and he's touting now Walmart and Dick's Sporting Goods. He goes, Walmart and Dick's Sporting Goods, 2 of America's largest gun retailers, have both announced they will stop selling guns to people under the age of 21. Okay, stopping right there. Folks, did you see the backlash yesterday to Dick's Sporting Goods online?
Dick's.
Yeah. That's good. I didn't get that right away. I think the audience did.
I think so.
Why? Good. Very nice. The backlash was absurd. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think the pajama boys with hot cocoa were going into Dick's Sporting Goods for a hockey helmet?
Or anything else for that matter.
Or anything else for that matter. What kind of stupid decision was this? Dick's Sport, I'm not going in there anymore. Folks, listen, I get it, but this was a dumb call, okay? You don't have to sell. You can sell to anybody you want to sell, but I strongly disagree with this. We send our kids over to overseas at 18 years old. We hand them a 5.56 rifle and ask them to defend the country, and now they come back and we have corporations engaging in corporate activism. This, I don't agree with it. I strongly disagree with it, and I don't like the action you took. You can't buy a handgun if you're 18. That's a fact, okay? There's a reason, concealability. But and then people, and I love when people throw out the argument, because you hear this from liberal. Geraldo tried to hit me with this on Fox. He said, well, you have to be 21 to buy alcohol. Again, that's a mind-altering substance, folks. You have to be 15 to drive in Florida, too. Well, what does that mean? You're just 15, you get a gun? You made the same argument about alcohol. They're two different things. Driving, owning a rifle, and then drinking alcohol are three, Joe, right? Three completely distinct and different things?
Yep.
You have to be a certain age to join the Secret Service, too. What does that mean? Well, should you be the same age to buy a gun? What does that mean? It's a rifle. You have 18-year-olds that hunt with their parents.
Sure.
You have 20-year-olds that live on their own that may, they live out in a rural type area. They may need a shotgun for self-protection. Now, all of a sudden, we got dicks engaging in corporate activism. Did you see the backlash? Again, but I'm only saying this because in Beinert's piece here in The Atlantic, he swears this is a win. You know what? Let me just take a note on this. I am going to put this up at the show notes. I don't like giving these left-leaning articles clicks. But you know what? In this case, we're going to make an exception. I think it's important. The show notes always available at Bongino.com. And please subscribe to my email list. I'll email these articles to you every day. I have some really good ones today, too. And that Schlichter piece, I will put in there as well. Because it's really, really good. But this is not a win. The backlash is going to be long-term. It's an effort to cater to the pajama boy crowd. All right, going on. There's more here. It says the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, that's the school where this tragedy happened in Parkland, gun control activists have become national heroes, praised by numerous celebrities. Okay, let's break this sentence down. Number one, and I say this with no ifs, ands, buts, or caveats. These kids went through something. Thankfully, the overwhelming majority of us will never be through, unless you were a soldier or anything, will never be through that kind of stress. An active shooting incident in a school they were in. They have the right, regardless, to speak out. I support it 100%. I disagree. That is it. There is no buts or caveats to that at all. The first portion of that sentence I have no issue with at all. They become, I wouldn't say they become national celebrities. I think that's kind of, calling someone a celebrity, I think is demeaning in and of itself. They become spokespeople and they have voices. The celebrities, I hear the word celebrity. I don't think Beinert understands the word celebrity does not have a positive connotation in most of America, okay? It's the second part I have an issue with. And he says, well, they were praised by numerous celebrities. Folks, okay, again, taking the kids out of the equation for a moment here. Being praised by celebrities is not a win in the culture war. This is not a win. Joe, where was this a win? Hillary Clinton was praised by multiple celebrities. Bernie Sanders was praised by multiple celebrities. The Barack Obama agenda was praised by multiple celebrities. You have Donald Trump precisely as a reaction to this. Being praised by celebrities is not a marker for success. But again, it's Beinert's own writing in this Atlantic piece that shows his isolation in this cultural bubble. He really believes that the culture war is being won by them, that these are legitimate wins. Look, the kids were being praised by celebrities. God bless the kids. I mean it. But being praised by celebrities has never been a market for success. Oh, by the way, Joe, celebrities, Hollywood movie sales, down. Music sales, down. Mm-hmm. Now, you can attribute that to whatever you want. Well, Hollywood, people are staying home and Netflix. But folks, it doesn't matter. That's not a win. It's not a win. It doesn't matter. It's not a win. You understand? It's not saying that the NFL's losing eyeballs, companies' brand recognition that divorced themselves with the NRA has gone down, saying that Hollywood moved that being endorsed by celebrities is a marker of success when celebrities can't even make money themselves because they're losing money now. Well, I shouldn't say they're still getting $1 million salaries, but they're not on the trajectory up. They're on the trajectory down, to be precise. That is not a win. It's not a win. This is a loss by any metric. He goes on, one more sentence, because this again goes, I'm telling you, this piece is epidemic of the left and their failure. This guy actually believes he's writing a piece about successes in the culture war as he's lining through line by line, Joe, catastrophic cultural failures by the left. His last sentence here. And last week at a CNN town hall, those students and their families booed NRA spokesperson Dana Lash so loudly that they almost drowned her out. These parents have the right to boo whoever they want. Dana Lash, Dan Bongino, or anybody else. They've been through something horrible. They had the right to boo them before. The tragedy doesn't change that. It gives them a louder voice because of what they've been through. And again, God bless them for doing it. I mean it, folks. This is what, they have the right to express their view. We live in a constitutional republic. What's irking me about this whole thing is this guy thinks booing Dana Lash at that thing was a win. Did you even pay attention to the reaction in conservative America? The answer is no, he didn't, because he's a cultural elitist. I'm out here in conservative America, down in Martin County, Florida. I talk to activist groups. I'm on listservs. I talk to people who represent hundreds, if not thousands, of actual grassroots in the field, knocking on doors activists. The response to that booing was overwhelmingly negative. It wasn't positive. This was not a cultural win, Joseph. It was not a win. People who saw that saw Dana Lash as being a sound, reasonable voice for why Second Amendment people want the right to self-protection while being booed and not being heard. That was not why do you think that's a win? I don't understand what makes you think that's a win. It was a loss. It was not a win. Folks, read this piece. Again, I hate to give them the clicks, but I think this piece is important, okay? I just want, I want you to know. All right, folks, now moving on, because this is really driving me crazy here, too. Another piece I saw by Dennis Prager, which is really, really, really good. It'll be it's at the Daily Signal. I'll put it in the show notes. This is one of those must-read pieces. The piece is about why liberals don't want teachers armed. And it's a fascinating piece that speaks to another larger argument that you and I have been engaged in since we started this show back in 2015. You know what we started, by the way? February 2015.
Oh, yeah?
I saw a reminder the other day about that. Yeah. It just seems like it's been a while. Folks, Prager makes the argument that liberals categorically refuse to fight evil. In other words, arming teachers would give them the means to fight back against evil. And I'm going to kind of tie this into some larger arguments he doesn't make, but I know he knows. But it's an important piece. It's a good piece. But it's important to understand the why. We say on this show often that the why matters, right, Joe? The why matters. Why liberals do what they do, right?
Yeah, it sure does.
Liberals never want – the Prager says in the piece that liberals like to fight little evils, not big evils. In other words, liberals will fight, men in the women's room. That's their fight. They'll fight against the Christian baker who doesn't want to, bake a cake for a gay wedding. They'll go full bore against that. But when it came to fighting the Soviet threat, when it comes to fighting terrorism, when it comes to fighting, back against, targeted school violence, all of a sudden liberals disappear. But why? The why matters. Now, bear with me for a second. This show is very conversational, and it's important that we understand this. And for me to do it, you're going to have to think through it with me for a minute here. Folks, acknowledging evil by the left, the radical far left, forces them to accept the fact that man is in fact fallible and that evil actually exists. They cannot do that. Joe's heard this before, so they can't do that because once they acknowledge, folks, that there is a large swath of our population that has evil in their heart and that evil, that wrongdoing is a very real thing. Once they acknowledge that evil is real and that man possesses evil in his heart, how do you simultaneously make the argument that you should be ruled by man? Now, Thomas Sowell, if people ask me for book lists a lot. I haven't put one together yet. Maybe I'll put one on my website one day. But if I had to recommend to you a couple of books for you to better understand this in a deep, elegant, profound fashion, in a way worded so beautifully you'll never forget it, Thomas Sowell has two books. One I think is a little easier to understand that talks about this specific thing. One is Vision of the Anointed, which is great and was a life-changing book for me by Thomas Sowell. The second book is a little more complicated. It's a slower read, but when you get through the both of them, what I'm telling you makes absolute sense. The second book is Conflict of Visions by Thomas Sowell. And the essence of it is effectively that. But the left needs you to believe that wrongdoing is a function